Up your charisma like on a hard drive. 30, 90, 70 seconds.
Yes.
Welcome to Bays Boys Podcast.
Joe Skelly in the house.
Tyler, I don't know.
I don't know.
Dude, you know a lot more than you let on.
It's never happened.
Yeah, it's never happened. So I want to bring up something right quick.
Uh-oh.
We're going to start a new campaign, and we need all you listeners to help us out.
Yes.
We've been trying to get on Pandora Radio, and we've been under review for quite some time. So
they don't like us.
Hey,
so
listen.
they said it is review. They said, what did a fucking email say? Like, you go under review, and if we don't like it, we're not telling you. That's what it said, basically. I was like, oh.
So here's what we'd like our viewers or listeners to do. If you can, go to Pandora Radio, email their customer service about why they have not accepted Bays Boys Podcast.
Yeah, because we don't understand it.
Help us spread the gospel of Bays Boys.
And while we're on the subject of minion work, we want to thank everybody who's putting in the reviews for us.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I don't know who's doing that, but we appreciate it.
We absolutely appreciate it.
We love you.
Yeah, we absolutely love you.
Weird sewer bum living in a warehouse kind of way. Very close. Very close love.
So listen, again, if you haven't gone out and given us a review, go to your platform where you listen to this podcast and give us the highest rating you can, because that helps us out. That helps to pump up these numbers. And I don't think it's necessarily the reviews that are pumping up the numbers. I think it's because our listeners are breaking rule number 1.
Right.
Which
makes no sense. I'm not saying it. Don't try to get me, Joe Skelly. You ain't tricking me, Haas.
Well,
not while you got this tape recorder on.
That's not while you're recording me.
Right. You know, he's recording. I'm like, you just blew 5 lines in front of the kid. I don't think it matters what he says.
Oh, and what's that reference to?
Oh, that was a horrible movie.
Documentary?
Let's just go right into it.
All right, let's just go right into it.
Knoxville. Thanks a lot. Shout out to Johnny Knoxville.
For the what documentary?
With your broken dick. Filming, what is it called? The Wonderful World of the Whites?
Yes, of West Virginia.
Of West Virginia. That's the whole title?
That is the whole title.
That's a lot.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this documentary, it's a train wreck.
It's like if you took all the parts of Jerry Springer and cut the good parts and put it into one movie. That was the whole fucking movie. Dude. You're just like, what?
It is a nonstop.
Let's just talk.
Just don't do it.
So, I have my notes, which these are not my notes. I was sitting here reading this. I'm like, I don't recognize any of this. So, first of all, per our last episode that probably hasn't even dropped yet, everything goes to Cleveland.
Yep.
There's a scene in the movie where the dude's tattooing some broad. I don't even know who that broad was, by the way. That's how fucked up this movie is. I couldn't keep tabs on who was who. But she's like, put this name on me. And she's getting a tattoo and she's got a Cleveland shirt on. She's got a Cleveland Indian shirt on, which I was like, okay. Like the Mega Beast noticed it the second time. The first time I watched it, it was genuinely such a fucking train wreck. I couldn't keep up.
So you had to watch it at least one more time?
I had to scroll through it to get notes because it was so much shit. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? There's some stuff in the world that you experience that it's just so much sensory overload and computing. Like you're still trying to figure out the last issue and they've moved on to the other 4. Yeah. Like how about the kid who shot his uncle in the face? Then in the face again.
Right.
Then in the shoulder.
Right.
55 years for attempted. Dude, people get less for that for murder.
Exactly.
So how do you get 55 for attempted?
Because he tried it more than once? I don't know.
But because he did 3? I mean, it's premeditated, but what are they counting? Every shot?
Yeah, maybe that's what they did.
15 for every shot and 5 because he's a hillbilly? What the fuck?
Dude. Well,
that math isn't even right because we're still missing 5.
Well, this is West Virginia, and the fact that it went to trial.
Oh, well, because it wasn't a murder, it was an attempted murder.
Right.
And plus, he stood off with the police.
Wow, that's probably
right. That was a big one.
And the fact that they were in a bigger, maybe it was because they were in a bigger town.
Well, I think he said it. He was like, "Well, was having that standoff and shooting at the police, that's when things got bad, or something weird like that, where I was like, what? Bro, let's just, I mean, okay. So first of all, so the movie's about a family.
The White family.
I don't even know if you can call it a family.
Their family tree is like one straight line.
Right.
Dude.
I like how every fucking time they talked about it, they were like, and that's an uncle, and Jess is my uncle, or whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Jace or Jesco. Jesco's my uncle. And I'm like, why do you guys keep saying that? Like, and why is he the uncle to everybody? Right? So-and-so's my pappy, but he's my uncle. I'm like, okay, whatever. The females, so just right off the rip, their voices are melted.
Oh, for sure.
Because of the consumption.
Oh, absolutely. All the drugs and all the alcohol and all the smoking.
Those were broads talking like this. I love them. We're going to West Virginia. Go get some more pills. I'm like, what the fuck? You're talking. I hear a man's voice, but I see a worn down woman.
Yeah.
Imagine smoking so much it changes your fucking vocal box.
Oh.
I mean, I know it happens, but that's just like proof in the pudding right there. My name is Amber. Like, the fuck it is. Call you Billy May. Something. That was a train wreck. So the girl's blowing lines after she has a baby, and the baby's in the room, in the baby cart.
Right, in the hospital.
That's fucking a day after you pump the baby out, you're popping lines.
She was crushing up Vikes.
Right.
Crushing up Vicodins.
Trying to roll a train.
And just riding that rail in the hospital room next to the baby in the bassinet.
And sadly, that's not the worst fucking, like, it's just one after the other on the bread cart.
All right, and she was wondering why CPS took her baby.
Right. They took my baby and wouldn't let me leave with her. Well, you're blowing lines in the hospital next to the baby, and you ripped up. You know that baby was hooked up.
Oh, yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's a train wreck.
That is a travesty.
How about the reference to the sister who moved to Cleveland and got killed? She moved to Cleveland. What did she say? She moved to Cleveland with so-and-so and then got killed or shot, or
who knows?
Dude, what the fuck? And everybody comes to Cleveland to die. We know that.
Maybe.
Everybody comes to Cleveland. They don't.
All roads do lead here.
Right. People don't want to leave.
No.
No, people don't want to leave.
That's like, you know what it is? You ever see those haunted house shows or those ghost shows, right? Where people have lived in a haunted house.
Yeah.
And like the people that are there to do the investigation are like talking sidebar, you know,
right.
After they do their interview, and they're like,
right,
we think she's attached to this home, right? Let's see if we can get her to leave the house. And they don't want to leave.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, they're drawn to that house. They're compelled to be in that house. And they're like, no, you should leave the house. It's not good for you. I can't leave.
Right. That dude was just given a tattoo in the kitchen. Then like midway through the tattoo, he's like, broke, hold on. And he's trying to fix his tattoo gun. Right. I'm like, what the fuck?
But hold on. People do tattoo parties. I've never been to one, and I would probably not partake in one.
I'm good.
Yeah. You're going to have some guy come to your house, right, where everybody's getting hammered.
Right.
Probably including the tattooist.
Right.
And he's just going to bang out
they're
tattoos
usually
in the kitchen
before they get to the party, but yeah. Right.
They're going to bang out tattoos in the kitchen?
No. I'm good.
That doesn't seem so sanitary.
There's just nothing clean about any of this.
No. But that's just normal, right?
It's bad, dude. Not to get on a sidebar, but let's see. I've had a tattooist who was always drunk. You could see it in her hands. She was shaky bakey. I've had a tattooist.
How did you let that woman tattoo you?
She had big boobs.
So you're gonna let her bang out. You're gonna let her bang out a raggedy ass tattoo because she's got the shakes.
I try not to judge people.
Oh, dude, if you're marking me permanently, you better have the hands of Christ.
Bro, she did not. Well, and then here's what happened.
Why are these lines so thick?
Right. The first time I went to go,
she doesn't do any fine line work. It's always bold lines.
The first time I went to. So apparently that's a style thing, by the way, preference. That goes in and out, heavy lining and thick lining and thin lining. Parks was talking about that. But anyways, no, I go to get tattooed on my hands, like one of the first hand tattoos I ever got, or second ones. It was knuckles. And she was like, well, I've never done these. And I was like, whatever, dude. I'll pop your cherry. Let's go. Fucking pop it all over my hands. Let's go. And she was like, I've never done this. So when she was shaking, I thought it was from
Nerves.
Come to find out later, old bra was just tanked up all the time.
Oh, okay.
I've had a heroin addict one.
Oh.
Yeah. And he got rated one of the top in the state for a while. And he was just rocking and rolling. And I'm like, damn, dog. I've had other ones that were just rock and rollers. I try to keep sober tattoo artists, though, just so we're very clear. All of these these were all found out later. Like, I didn't drink with these people and then whatever. It just happened to be that I found out later. That's why homeboy looked like he was being sweated in the fucking interrogation room all the time, because he was.
He was getting dope sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly what was happening. Right. So, moving on from that part, though, old boy's just giving the fucking tattoo in the fucking kitchen. And he's like, oh, my shit broke. And I'm pretty sure he's not wearing any gloves. He had to go over the name like a billion times, which is fine. That's understandable. I almost tattooed a word on myself once that was misspelled. My tattoo artist. Yeah. So my tattoo artist fucking had misspelled it and I missed it.
Oh.
Luckily, you want to know who had my back?
Who?
My mommy.
Your mom was like, that's wrong.
Yeah. I had to get a fucking ride. It was before I had a car, and I was trying to get a ride, and my ride had bailed, and I was like, Mom, you got to give me a ride. I got an appointment. And she was like, what? You shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, just take me. And so she took me in there. She's standing
Was she
around.
horrified?
Oh, she was so mad.
Yeah.
My parents hate every tattoo I get.
I got you.
Right. So.
And then she was like,
she's
getting
like,
this
that's spelled wrong. And I was like, what? And I had to bust it. It was before cell phones, kind of. So I had to go on the computer and check it while I was at the shop and shit. And I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. And my tattoo artist was like, okay, cool. I'm like, yep, that's about right. So there's that.
Spelled this wrong.
Right. Yeah. I'm 99% sure it was a your. Using the wrong your.
Oh.
Yep. So that was almost a thing for me.
I'm sure the Mega Vases looks at that and just goes bonkers.
I don't know if I've ever told her that was almost misspelled wrong.
Like my better half, she's a grammar Nazi.
Yeah, so's mine.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not tattooed wrong. Wait, Joe Skelly, you don't think it's done wrong? It's good.
Oh,
almost.
I
literally had the stencil on, and she's like, "That's fucking misspelled." And I'm like, "What?" And we caught it literally as I was stenciling it onto my skin. So thank God for that.
Oh, I thought you actually had it done wrong.
Fuck no.
Like no regrets.
No regrets.
Regrets.
Yeah. On that note, I know another broad who went out and got like a full side piece, and her shit is spelled wrong, and it's a big word.
Oh,
dude. And you cannot fix it. You know, there's some tattoos you're just like, nope, you fucked that all up. May as well just embrace that life.
Either that or black it all out. Like
that's right.
That's what people are doing now instead of getting the laser removal done.
Yep.
Do you know why people are blacking out instead of doing laser removal?
Because it's cheaper. It hurt less. There's all kinds of reasons that I'd rather do that than that.
As it was described to me, laser removal is like having somebody pour boiling oil on your skin.
Oh.
That's what it feels like.
I'll bet, bro. You're just frying those fucking skin cells and shit with that laser. Speaking of lasers and tattoos, though, Starship Troopers, the way they got that laser tattoo is one of the dopest things I've ever seen. I can't wait till that exists.
Yes.
Probably not in our lifetime, but that'd be cool.
That would be cool. And by the way, if you haven't read the book, put that on your list.
Stop making fun of me, Joe Skelly.
Dude, that book is way better than the movie.
I know.
Way better than
everybody
the movie.
says it. My dad, my brothers, my
everybody.
Friends. Everybody says it.
Everybody says it.
Everybody in the club getting tips. Oh, speaking of clubs, back to the Wonderful World of the Whites, or whatever the fuck that movie's called. That bitch went to the bar the day after she got out of the hospital.
Yes, she did.
To the bar.
She didn't have her baby.
Wearing sweatpants.
And didn't we already talk about sweatpants isn't a real style?
Imagine the broad. First of all, just let's put this on the table. The fact that she exists in that area tells you what? That somewhere in that same area, there is a male counterpart who is probably not opposed to dipping his wick in that pre-6-week healed.
Yeah.
What the fuck? If I was a woman, thank God I'm not, I would just be afraid of things falling out.
Or not,
after the baby.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be running around to the bar in sweatpants.
Trying to get quickies in the stall.
Fucking trashed, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's it's so easy to talk about this, and people are like, well, well, bro, every scene is like that.
the entire documentary.
The entire documentary.
Did you feel dirty after watching it?
Dirty? I felt related to these people. No, yeah, it was horrible. How about that fucking dude? The girl who was like, my husband's out of jail, but he's staying with this other bitch, my cousin, who he cheated on me with, and we're going to get him.
And then bring him home?
Yeah. Then they got him in the car, and she's trying to mac on him, and he's like, no. And she's like, you will kiss me. You will take me home and fuck me and dick me down. And you're just like, this is so ass backwards.
Depraved?
I don't know. This is a situation, though, where no might really mean no for the man. So I was like, homie, you got to get out of that car. Open beer bottles. Fucking, they did not give a fuck.
Road props.
Right. She's like, get in your fucking house. I'm like, oh.
Run, my man.
Oh.
Run.
And he was just walking around with no shirt on and just, why is that what are you doing, engineer?
Oh, he's stretching.
I just meant sit up straight.
No, he's stretching.
He's stretching over here. He's trying to crowd me, Joe Skelly. He's trying to beat me over the head.
He's trying to
All right,
sweat you?
so I don't trust this guy. He looks fucking sketch as fuck. All right, so
sweating you?
Yeah. Look at this guy. Thinks he's a
put
cop.
the 5-pound weight down.
So, no, but the whole thing, she's like, well, he's in jail, and he was fucking my cousin, cheated on me, but I got him back. But then he got out again. I'm like, what? The fuck did you just say he got out again? What? She was like, you're coming home. And all of them with my name is Sally. I don't know how they got for my cousin. That's the man I love. I'm like,
oh my. How about they had like the 80-year-old mom or grandma,
right,
rocking and rolling, doing.
She was like, she didn't want to do drugs. She's like, y'all got these drugs in this. What did she say? Drugs in the internet is ruining life or some shit.
Yeah.
Or drugs in, dude. So I watched that whole movie, and there's only like 5 movies in my whole life I've ever watched that fuck you up. And at the end, you're just kind of like, wait, what happened? Like, was that it? Like, that one and Napoleon Dynamite is the last 2 I remember that really did that. Requiem did that to me the first like 10 times I watched it. And I was like, what the fuck is happening in this movie, bro? Run the other way. But, what? Oh.
I see what you just reset. Where'd you go? You're back?
I feel like the entire system failed these people.
Yes. Everything.
The whole system.
Everything failed.
Child services.
Oh, yeah.
Public education.
Yes.
Public sanitation.
The hospital.
The
law enforcement.
Everybody.
Yep.
Did they even get the fucking babies back? The baby back in the movie? I don't think you talk about it.
Yeah, eventually she did get the baby back.
Oh, she got clean too.
Yeah.
She put on, so that was, yeah, right.
Air quotes, clean, right.
Well, that's the, I showed that to the engineer because I was like, look, man, you can tell she's kind of clean because her meat came back on her body. Like she looked like a human instead of looking like a bag of bones running around. That's a crazy thing.
That is a crazy, crazy thing.
And again, to take it aside, back to what we were saying in the live drop, you have to wonder, we watch this as a rubberneck. Do you watch it? Where's your placement and all that? You don't want to be that holier than thou and be like, well, you got problems, ha, because we all got problems. And the other thing too that I've learned growing up of a person all over and meeting billions of people and being able to talk to people from all walks of life is we're all one step away from somebody who's like that.
Oh, you're one bad night of drinking away from that yourself.
Or that. That's true too.
There are many points in my life.
No. Yeah.
I'm convinced there are many points in my life where things could have gone 100% the opposite direction of where they went.
Right. And we all slip. We all slip. But, is this a rubberneck scenario? Is this thank God it's better you than me? Is it a this or that? To me, the whole movie, though, was literally, it didn't seem like they wanted it to change. It just seemed like this is it.
Oh, no, they embraced it.
This is the life.
They embraced it.
I like the part where she was like, well, A lot of strange things happens to our family and we don't know why. Hand me the plate of fucking meth so I can snort it. I'm like, yeah.
Maybe
there's no flags here, my guy.
No, you have no understanding that this is why.
You're definitely in bed by 10 p.m. and, right after that steam yoga class, fixing your shit. The weird anomalies that happen when you're methed out. It's just all kinds of questionable.
Oh, man. Dude, how about the kid that held up he's like, y'all want to hear the West Virginia mating call?
Right.
And he's shaking
Click, click, click.
He's shaking
That's what
a
I was
bottle
just
full
thinking
of
about, too.
Vicodins.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. They got those people sketched out. And that takes us into the conspiracy part. How about the CIA dumping crack cocaine into the communities in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah, well,
we know allegedly. Sorry, CIA. Allegedly.
Yeah.
It wasn't your fault that somehow you started infiltrating, bringing dope into the country.
We don't know anything about that.
And most of those West Virginia towns aren't being held down by some big business conglomerate that's fucking Fortune 500 coal, whatever, dumping whatever the fuck they want in there, right? The miner goes in. So they brought up a good point, though, on another note. One of the guys said, he goes, look, this lifestyle of going into the coal mines gives you this mentality like you're going to die at any second, so it don't really matter, does it?
And maybe there's a lot of that.
Right.
Maybe there's a lot of that.
But again,
living every day like it was your last.
Right. But she's like sucking on that fucking meth pipe or whatever and is like, I don't know what's wrong with our family. Well,
shit.
You gave that fucking 9-year-old 10 cans of Coke today.
Oh, dude,
that's a problem.
That kid was jumping on the bed going, Dennis, is this? And he's giving the birds to the camera and he's screaming at the top of his lungs.
It's like, we're not even talking about that. But yeah, Dennis is a piece of shit. I'm like, oh, that's fucking crazy.
Dude, my man was loaded up on Mountain Dew, Coke, or whatever it was.
And he was doing, you know what I was impressed about? His ability to do those backflips.
On the bed?
Old boy, like that kid did that for a while. He was doing backflip and wall backflips with like conviction. This wasn't like, maybe I'm going to make it or I'm going to try this.
My
boy was doing spins and shit. He's like, this is what I do. Spin, 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 spin. Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is another part that was scary too. When he looked up at his mama, he's like, can we go to the Dollar General for a while? He said that.
Right. For a while.
Right. So the Dollar General is your park.
Yes.
Can we go to the Dollar General? That's the fun store you got.
Oh, yeah. Because look, it's full of all that cheap shit.
I'm just blown away.
Right?
No, it is. Yeah, I guess.
Right? Taking your food stamp card down there and then take whatever cash you can buy to get your nicotine and your booze. And
fuck, man.
Dude, and by the way, if you're drinking Dollar General booze,
oh no,
you might have to rethink some things.
Write the show if you're drinking Dollar General booze, because I want to know.
If you're buying your booze at Dollar General, email us at baysbasement.com and let us know about it. By the way, we're still tracking this corn thing. We're still tracking how you eat your corn because this is serious business.
Like a typewriter or rotating it?
Rotating it like a wheel and incorporating the typewriter as you go down the cob.
The typewriter is the most important. No, you can't. You got to do
one or the other.
This
ain't the cartoons, bro.
You got to do one or the other.
Dude, this ain't the cartoons.
You got to do one or the other.
All right.
Typewriter or wheel.
We're going to find out.
Can't incorporate. Look at Joe Skelly trying to be sly. He's the coal company incarnate right here. Well, you don't have to pick Vicodin or meth. You can just do both. One is for the break.
Right.
One
is for home. One is for home and one's for the break.
One is right. So that's fucking crazy. So let's look at I want to look this up real fast cuz I'm curious. So here's a list of no, that's not it. I want to look up not Deep South. So I was looking up states for the South, but I see now
for what reason?
Well, because they were like West Virginia, Kentucky.
As far as what?
In the movie, they were talking, he was wearing rebel flags, the rebel hat.
Well, okay.
So West Virginia is considered part of the South.
Well, here's the thing. During the Civil War, West Virginia broke away from Virginia and fought for the North.
So why was he wearing South gear? Like those guys were real, and like you saw the one uncle who was the gray bearded uncle or the older guy that was kind of walking around telling him stuff. He was the best dressed one there, so to speak.
No, that wasn't
No,
Jesco.
that wasn't Jesco.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think
No, but-
Jesco's the one that got shot.
Right. No,
Or
that was his
Jesco
dad.
was the famous one.
Right. His dad's the one that got killed.
What?
Jesco's dad was killed.
No,
And-
that guy wasn't dead. He had the scars and everything that showed where
Oh,
he got shot.
you're talking about
So
the
the
other
white
one.
bearded
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
that is Jesco.
Yes.
He was wearing like the leather jacket, the big
Right.
Rebel South belt buckle,
Right,
the
right,
jeans, the
right.
fucking South hat.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting because I don't think of West Virginia as being the South.
Well, and here's the thing. I think those lines were still split to this day because officially they fought for the North during the Civil War.
Really?
Right.
But even when we watched I watched some of the just to go back and cover the McCoys and Hatfields one. I watched the first episode of that the other day, and they were talking.
They were split too.
Yeah, the one guy was like, "You wearing that fucking Yankee jacket in our bar?" Blah blah blah,
Right.
and was all upset about that.
Right.
So that's
There was a huge split
So you think
because
maybe
you got to
they're-
remember West Virginia didn't exist until the Civil War.
Okay,
Right. It was all
Okay.
Virginia, and then they broke away.
okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense, I guess. It's just a very interesting thing. 89% of respondents considered Georgia as part of the South. So why wouldn't Georgia be considered part of the South?
Well, you're talking about Mississippi, Alabama,
Right. South Carolina.
South Carolina,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
So then you've got Kentucky. See, so West Virginia it's very.
But you
it's-
also have to understand, Virginia is where Washington D.C. is, right?
Right.
And you also have to understand that Arlington Cemetery, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was General Lee's personal home.
Oh, I
That
didn't
property,
know that.
property that is Arlington Cemetery.
Oh,
And so, as a big FU to General Lee,
really?
they started planting.
This I've never heard.
They started planting. They used it as a cemetery for the Union.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever been up there?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I like it. Did you see
It's
the
a very somber place.
what's he
Tomb
called?
of the Unknown Soldier.
There you
Yes.
go. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. That duty is a fucking crazy duty.
Oh, you're not allowed
Like,
to talk
Right. You're not
for
allowed
like
to talk.
the first year.
And you're
You have to take like a vow of silence for like the first year.
yeah, and your entire like shift is just marching that fucking part right there billions of times a day, standing there. That is I watched a
In all inclement weather.
right.
It
I
doesn't
watched
matter what the weather is.
Right. I watched a video about that one time about those guys.
Like even in
Ex-
hurricanes and shit,
right.
they're out there.
Extremely crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's kind of like almost like our bit of the English ones that stand at the gate, kind of that they're not supposed to do anything.
Oh, you're talking about the
Reminds me of
Queen's
that.
Guard. Yeah,
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 yeah.
Well, they also sign an agreement that they're not supposed to swear for the rest of their natural life. They're not supposed to
Really?
be drinking and doing drugs even after they're out of service.
I like that though.
That's like
I'd like to meet somebody who holds that up.
well,
That's pretty cool.
what do we call? Oh yeah, our buddy is going down. He's going to be doing a honor guard service,
That's right.
Training.
He's doing the training thing. That's
and
right.
it's one of the people that's going to be the instructor is one of the former guards of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Really?
Yes,
Ooh. Get some
Yes.
interview questions over to him.
yes.
Anyways, so what did you tell me what you thought about that whole documentary?
That thing's a straight train wreck.
Yeah.
And it's one of those train wrecks you can't turn away from. You're like, this can't possibly get any more fucked up.
And it does.
And it just does.
It just
And you
does.
think it's fucked up, and you're like, that's it. It's not, it hasn't hit,
Right.
it's hit rock bottom. And then it does another deep dive on
Then
it.
a boy gets 55 years for attempted murder for shooting his uncle 3 times.
Right. And you're like,
It was that boy's dad who died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
well,
he was
Jesco's
like-
dad also died.
he was
but
like,
he
fuck-
died before the documentary was
Oh,
filmed.
okay.
That's how he.
Because he was like, fuck you, I'll put you in a grave next to your daddy. And that kid's like, okay, come down here, and blasted him.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine shooting your own uncle.
You would have to be pretty mad.
I like most of my uncles.
I would imagine.
I've
I don't have
never-
any. I don't have any reason to shoot my own uncles.
No, not
Uh,
over anything.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So, what a crazy documentary.
And it is rubbernecking, but I will say this, when it was all said and done with, I was like, thank God that's not my life.
See, Joe Skelly, you can't say that. I don't think you should say that, Joe Skelly. You can't say that.
Well,
no, I'm joking. We can't.
Listen,
Fuck
I
it.
dodged
Thank
a lot of
God.
bullets. I dodged a lot of bullets.
It is. You don't know. We've watched many men just slip into that fucking crevice.
Ooh.
It's hard. It's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I got frontline seats to some of them people melting for sure.
For sure.
So I can't get over this part though. He's coming home with me. I'm like, oh, what's that sound like when bedroom doors are closed? Oh,
yeah, that's not pleasant. That can't be a pleasant thing.
Get down in that box.
Oh, all right.
97 seconds of just all the things you do not want to watch, but go watch the
Wonderful World of the Whites of West Virginia.
Yeah, or don't.
Or don't.
97 seconds.